Less talking, more pitching, right? We've got your planner.
Wait, am I pitching or am I talking?
You're talking, you're not pitching. Leave that to them. Not fantasy owners, although they might be good too. Anyways, Lauren Shehadi, Eric Mack. Very glad to be with you. We are talking pitchers, and we were talking Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, to where, when. Look in your crystal ball. Help me out.
Well, if Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee play fantasy, they can pitch and they can be on my fantasy team at the same time. Roy Halladay, he probably will go to the National League, but whoever doesn't get Roy Halladay in the next week could look at Cliff Lee. I think both of these two, no matter where they go, they're going to be outstanding aces. You just have to be worried in AL-only leagues if you stand to lose them to the other league. Both these guys are big-time aces. They're going to get great run support wherever they go, even if they stay in their current situations.
What's an appropriate trade? Don't know, right?
It's going to be 4 prospects for Halladay and maybe a cut to blow, maybe 3 prospects for Lee.
Maybe you're in there.
Yeah.
Pitcher.
You're not getting either of those guys.
Just some former aces. Jason Schmidt, Pedro Martinez. Do you trust them? Do you trust them over rookies like Clayton Richard, Clay Buchholz?
Right. I don't think you can trust those veterans. They have a big name and there's a lot of drama. These guys are on contending teams come August in the case of Pedro Martinez. But these guys are older pitchers who are struggling with their velocity. I look to the back-end starters on other contenders like the Red Sox and the White Sox. Clayton Richard, Clay Buchholz, these 2 guys are better buys right now than the veterans Schmidt and Martinez, and you wouldn't have imagined saying that.
Newcomers, maybe even moving on up, right?
Maybe even coming to this year you wouldn't have said that.
All right, guys that are returning as early as the end of July, right? Edinson Volquez, Ryan Dempster, Gil Mesh, what do you make of them? Do you trust them?
Yeah, well, Gil Mesh probably return early next week. You might not want to trust him coming off the DL. Edinson Volquez, I definitely would not trust him coming off the DL because the last time he did that, he needed to be shut right back down again. Ryan Dempster, though, I might trust him more than the others because a toe doesn't really affect your pitching as much as your elbow or back, and he's targeting a Thursday return for the Cubs. I would trust Dempster perhaps, but Mesh and Volquez, let them pitch and prove healthy and effective before you trust them in your lineup.
Very effective, very healthy. Your must-start, 2-start pitchers, and that's Ricky Romero. As a rookie, you're going to see him struggle a little bit, and we've seen that. But we've also seen some quality starts, and you think that's going to continue? Yeah,
I think Ricky Romero, he has been quality enough over the long haul. I know he's had some bad starts recently, but he's been quality enough over the long haul. I think you can trust him in all leagues. And then you look at his matchups. He's got pretty decent matchups. At Seattle, it's Felix Hernandez he's facing, but that team doesn't score a lot of runs. And then at Oakland, that team doesn't score a lot of runs. So Ricky Romero, I'm going to start him in every league I can. Mike Pelfrey is another guy owned in at least 50% of leagues like Romero, but he's not a guy I trust. He's struggling right now. Those matchups don't look real intimidating, but the Mets don't score any runs. Mike Pelfrey's struggling. It's a bad mix. I think I would sit Pelfrey in mixed leagues. Maybe only in only leagues would I start him in.
Who are your sleepers? Jeff Suppan on the top of this list. He's not going to dominate when he goes out there, but he's going to be consistent, right?
Right. Suppan is a consistent veteran. When he gets decent matchups with the Brewers offense, that's a good mix, and I think Jeff Suppan can win for you next week. And then I like the Brewers because I also have Braden Looper as a potential 2-start sleeper. They might skip Mike Burns this weekend, which will move Looper off a 2-start week. But if he's getting 2 starts versus Washington at San Diego, those are 2 weak offensive teams. The Brewers are a strong offensive team. And, oh, by the way, we talked about Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee. One of those pitchers could be joining those 2 in that rotation.
And playing against the Nats, so he should be pretty much.
Sorry about your Nationals.
That's okay. I can
My Nets.
I'm a good sport.
Mets.
Thank you for watching. Your Mets, I know, right? Thank you, Mack. Everything fantasy baseball, you know where to go. For Eric Mack, I'm Lauren Shehadi. We'll talk to you soon.